evening and welcome to CART Conversations. Before we get started, I would like to say happy birthday week to Tiffany. She's just put on Facebook today how old she is, so she must be very proud of her 55 years. And I keep telling her, watch out, those next years will go by like lightning. So, but we're so thankful for her. And I have to tell you that working with her at Zone Summit was just a pleasure. And so I'm going to start out by talking a little bit about our experience at the Mayo Clinic. And we all know that the Mayo Clinic is one of the most prestigious research institutions in our country. And for them to take 3 hours, their entire research team of Dr. Chow, am I saying that right?
Dr. Zhao
Shao,
with a Z.
for her team to be there with us. They gave us some of the most up to date information regarding research. They then gave us a tour, and going in their lab, we're talking about multi-million-dollars worth of equipment. And if you follow Tiffany, you got to see some of the things in action and how they shared with us. But I have to tell you that for me, and I probably for anyone else, that I had the opportunity to actually hold that human brain in our hands, I had to come back and reflect about what did that really mean. Yes, I doubt that I will ever hold a human brain in my hands again. But in my reflection, what I happened to think about were all the people that I know personally that their brain has been affected through Alzheimer's disease or some Lewy bodies or some type of dementia. And it made me go back through the names of the people in my life that have been affected. But it also reminded me of hope. One, them spending the time that they spent with us meant that they have huge respect and they value CART very much. And I began to think about all of the grants that over the years that we've been able to do for this 30 years. And I began to have hope. I have hope that one of our researchers will have a breakthrough, that we are going to see ways that we can help to turn that change of coins into lasting change. And I believe that that is inevitable, that we are working toward that end. And with that being said, I'm going to turn it back over to Tiffany. She knows what other things she has planned. But I just have to tell you that the next time Tiffany offers this, and it's what she starts out, because I mean, I could believe me, we only had 11 people, and it was once we got into the lab, it was very crowded. So what we try to do is we try to offer this opportunity for those that are on our board and those that are district chairs that are close to the area where we are, the district governors, because without the link to a district governor that is interested in CART, we will never see success in that district. It is inevitable that those people have to lead the way. They pick a good CART chair, then they help bolster the fundraising around CART. So it always will be a fairly small group. But I have to tell you that the next time we do this, if you have the opportunity to visit one of these institutions, take advantage of Tiffany's invitation. And with that, I'll turn it back to Tiffany.
Thank you, Carol. It really was an incredible experience. For those who may not understand how this all worked out, we actually did this back in 2018 when a group of the board members took a trip to Philadelphia to visit with Dr. Trojanowski's lab. And if you follow us at all, you know that one of our top 2 grants is named in memory of Dr. Trojanowski. And we got an opportunity to meet with him in his lab back in 2018. So last year, 2024, when we were planning to participate in the Zone Summit in Pittsburgh, I said, I have an idea. And so we put together a trip to University of Pittsburgh to meet with Dr. Carl Harrop and some of those. And again, it was a small group. Some of us who were there in Pittsburgh were able to participate. And so this year we were very fortunate that the event was in Jacksonville. We were able to catch up with some of our CART researchers. And they took it a step further, which I also wanted to share with you. So on Friday, prior to our visit on Monday, they invited me to speak at the neuroscience department seminar. I thought, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? And when they invited me to speak to all of the neuroscientists, I said, well, how long are we talking? They said, oh, just an hour. I said, nobody wants to hear me talk for an hour. So we took about 45 minutes, but I split the time with Dr. Goforth. I invited him to come along, and explained to the entire department what CART is, who we are, what we do. And then he explained our grants process. They had folks from all three of the Mayo clinics around the country, Jacksonville, Rochester, and Arizona, who all zoomed in and participated in this call. And then after that, Dr. Goforth actually spent some time going office to office and meeting with several of the researchers individually to really answer questions about the grants process, to motivate and encourage them, and hopefully inspire them to apply. So for those of you who may not remember, this past year we gave away a record $2 million. We are looking to best that again this year, so stay tuned. But we also had a record number of applications from researchers around the country. 92 letters of intent originally received, whereas typically we get 40 to 45. And part of that was because we were giving away some $500,000 grants, but also because people really want to work with us. After this activity this week in Mayo, in Jacksonville, I do believe that we will have that many or more that will apply again. And that's really encouraging for us. They love the fact, the researchers in general, that we are donating 100% of everything that you raise directly to research. They love the fact that we are providing seed grants. They love the fact that it's a 2-year time period, and we're giving them an opportunity to get data and statistics that they can then use to apply for those multi-million dollar grants from NIH, from Big Pharma, from the federal government, or whoever. And they also comment on how easy our paperwork is compared to some of those others. So all of these are really positive things, and I share them with you so that you have that knowledge, so that when people ask you those questions as well. So from time to time, I like to drop these little nuggets that hopefully you can use in your presentations as well. So it was an incredible trip. I have lots more pictures that I'll be sharing. As we mentioned earlier, we just returned home late Monday night, so we're still unpacking and digging out and going through emails and phone mail messages and everything else. But it really was an incredible opportunity. So we, as Carol mentioned, it is a limited opportunity because they don't have space for 40 or 50 people to come into their labs. So what we're doing is we're looking at doing some day trips for some places in the Carolinas and some other locations as well, so that some of you who cannot make these longer trips, or you're not already going to one of the zone summits, might be able to do that. So just as a heads up, I had a wonderful meeting a few weeks ago with the director of the Duke UNC Alzheimer's Center. And so Greg, I'm definitely going to be reaching out to you about this. They are very interested in applying this coming year because they've never gotten a grant, and wouldn't it be great to have some folks from the Carolinas? And they are very interested in hosting us, similar to what Mayo did. So we'll be working on that as a schedule, and see what we can do with that. There are some other facilities that would like to host us, and next year's Zone Summit is going to be in a location that really doesn't have one of our researchers right close by. So we're probably not going to tie it into that same week next year, which means that if we're doing something completely different, there might be an opportunity for some other folks to join us. So we wish that we could take everybody, but the labs simply cannot handle that. And in fact, when she originally told me 12, and then I came back to her and said, can I fit in 13? And she finally gave in. And then I came back and said, can I fit in 14? Because I didn't know this person was bringing a guest. And she finally came back and said yes. And then we had two that had to leave early. So we ended up with 11 or 12, and it worked out exactly as she had originally intended. So that worked out great. It was an incredible experience. And the Dr. Zhao that hosted us, she got her grant in 2020. So that was the year that all of our awards were online via Zoom. And she said the only regret she has about getting a CART grant is that she didn't get to come be with us in person to accept a big check. She said, I've seen those pictures of everyone with their big checks, and I didn't get one of those. So she's applying again this year. So it maybe she'll get lucky and be able to join us in Charlotte next year. So there'll be more to come about all of that. But I hope that you can see from the pictures that we're posting and just from the conversations that we're having with you tonight, Carol and I and some others, that it was an incredible experience. I hope that you can hear that in the passion and and see that in the pictures as well. So I appreciate everybody who helped make that happen. Now, every month we do a monthly challenge for our district chairs, and I want to review those really quickly for July and August, and then I want to share with you what September is. So I'm going to ask you to nod or raise your hand if you have done them as we've been going along. But July's challenge that we issued was to meet with your district governor to establish some goals for what the district governor and the district chair for CART both see as realistic goals, whether it's per capita or total giving. So if you have not done that yet, it's not too late to catch up with your district governor, set some goals, enter them into the goals category of the donor portal. You have to enter them one club at a time, and then they will all roll up into a district goal. So if you have not done that yet, there's still time to do that. The August challenge was to introduce yourself to the clubs in your district, how to do a P-mail, how to set up a committee. And that committee is made up of all of the club chairs in your district, and it will roll up. And I had a wonderful conversation a few weeks ago with a brand new district chair who was very confused about setting up an Excel sheet to create district club CART chairs. And when I showed him how he can do it all in DACDB, he was amazed and in awe and wonder of the fact how easy it is. But it means that you have to ask your club presidents to identify a club chair. And then when you enter them in as a club chair for that club, they all roll up into your district committee. And then it's easy to communicate with them with just one simple P-mail. Now, the September challenge is a district competition. Now, some of your districts already do this. Some of them have a long-standing tradition, and some have just not gotten to that point yet. But I want you to think about establishing a competition. It accomplishes several goals. Number one, it motivates clubs who maybe want to give a little more than the neighboring club in their community. It also inspires clubs and individuals to give so that their club will raise up in the leaderboard. And it really builds excitement leading up to either a district award ceremony or a district conference. Now, every year there are questions as to what is the deadline for giving to CART. So I want to remind you all there is no deadline for giving to CART. What we want to encourage our clubs to do is to donate as they collect. There are a couple of reasons for that. Number one, it's not earning any interest sitting in their club checking account. However, when pooled with all of our money, it does earn interest in our accounts, and that's how we run our organization. We use the interest earned to run our sister organization, TRAC, Trusting Rotarians for an Alzheimer's Cure, and that's how we pay all of our administrative expenses, postage, shipping, buckets, pens, postcards, for us to attend these conferences, and have a booth in a house of friendship, those type of things. We do that based on how much money we are able to earn interest off of. The other thing that it does is it allows us to know exactly how much money we can give away. And some of you may remember in the old days, we said, oh, the deadline is March 30th. Well, there is no deadline for us, but each individual district can set your own deadline for competition. All right, I want to make sure that's perfectly clear. If your district is going to have a conference or an awards program that you would like to give out an award that night for clubs, then you decide what is the last date that you're willing to calculate and order your awards. Now, I suggest to some people that you just order a generic award that doesn't have a club name on it. That way, you don't have to set the date too far in advance. But there are clubs and districts that do different projects. I'm going to call out and not ask her to necessarily speak to it unless she wants to. Andy Dent Taylor is online from District 7670, which is the district I'm a part of. And Bill Parker, also, who I think actually started this thing many years ago of giving out these brass buckets. They call them spittoons. I think it's the military side of him that does that. But it's a huge brass spittoon that they have put engraved names and awards on, and they pass it around the district. And if a club were to win it so many years in a row, they got to keep the spittoon. I think the spittoons have been retired, Andy, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, is that correct now? Yes.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah,
Yes.
they have been retired.
But that doesn't mean that they're not still continuing the competition.
Oh,
And
gosh, no. Oh,
exactly.
it's a
And
big
so
company.
there are several ways that you can recognize clubs, and the most common would be most in total giving. And that means you calculate first, second, and third place. You can do honorable mention, fourth or fifth, whatever you want to do. This is your district award. You can also do most per capita, and that's a great opportunity to recognize smaller clubs that might do a lot of fundraising, but maybe you're never going to raise the same amount as a larger club. And then the third way you may consider recognizing, and for any of you who are online who are club chairs, you may think about doing something like this in your club as well. And that is recognizing the club that has the most members of the Roger Ackerman Circle, which, as you may recall, is our recurring donor program. And so we can pull that data for you. If you don't know how to find it, I can show you how to find it. But those are three really easy awards. Now, Glenda's district does a recognition every year for her total giving and per capita, and they give out, if I remember correctly, some banner sashes or something that you guys give out at your district conference. Glenda, is that correct? It's highly
It's a little thing, a banner, embroidered banner thing that can be attached to their other banner. It's the same as all the other awards for gold, silver clubs. It's equal with all others.
wonderful. Thank you.
So we changed that a couple years ago. Terry made that change.
Exactly. And that's a great way to recognize clubs. But again, if your district does a district conference and you want to do it there, then that's a great place to do it. Or if they do an award ceremony at the end of the year or whenever, it's completely up to you. Now, that is your challenge for September, is to create a little competition. That might mean getting up with your district governor or your district awards chair, knowing the plan, knowing when that would be a good time to award it, and then starting to introduce it and build a little competition. Joan McGregor does a great job of sharing the leaderboard, which you may have seen the leaderboard graphics that I do on our CART page for clubs and districts. And I have that as a file in Canva that I can share with you if you would like to do something similar. Joan has been doing that. She's building a little competition amongst her clubs. Joan, how is that going for you? Is that inspiring some clubs to keep giving?
It has this year. Yeah, it's working because I put on there, of course, my club is first place, but I put, this, second place, this could be you. You're the missing piece.
Perfect. And
Yes.
so even a light-hearted challenge can generate some excitement. It could be a traveling trophy or it could be a shout out. But even a little light-hearted challenge, maybe it's the first club to donate in this month. Or maybe it's maybe you even offer some incentives. I know when Michelle was district cart chair several years ago, she would offer an incentive 1 month. Any club this month that donates $1,000 or more gets a cookie tray or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of different ideas that you can do. So I just wanted to share that with you and make sure that you know that it is up to you to create the competition in your district. Any questions about that? Now, speaking of awards and competitions, I have something really exciting to share with you. So, as you may recall, 3 years ago, I started this award called the Changemaker. And it is an opportunity for you as a district chair to recognize an individual or a club in your district that has gone above and beyond when it comes to supporting the CART Fund. And we had a lovely little certificate that I did in Canva. I could update it with the name and or the club or whatever, and then email it to you. You could print it. Some folks, I think, in Greg's district, because they have a district governor who owns an awards company, they created something even nicer with a plaque. So this year we're unveiling something brand new. And I have Carol to thank for this because she brought this idea to us at our annual meeting last year. But we are rolling out a brand new award for Changemakers. Now, this is going to be for individuals, and every district chair has the opportunity to recognize one individual in your district. It could be someone who writes a big check if you want to, or it could be someone who is spearheading an effort in their club, or has chaired an event, or encouraged others to participate. But it is up to each individual district chair to select who the recipient will be in your year, in this Rotary year. And then I encourage you to present it at your district awards ceremony. Or if that is not going to happen at your district conference, they're not going to be there, then go to their club and do it. And I'm always available to help with that. And then we're going to be giving them out to individuals as well on behalf of the CART Fund. And I'm excited because Milton, I'm going to be coming to his district to present this to a very special individual. So Milton, we're not going to show this at that club yet, but you guys, we had medallions made, and make sure I'm going in the right direction. The ribbon that you wear has CART on it. These were produced. I'm building up all the excitement. These were produced by Lisa Higginbotham, who's the current district governor in 7710, which is Greg's district. She owns an awards company and is a licensed Rotary vendor. And she helped us with the design and the production. And then she donated part of the cost for us as her in-kind gift. And it is a medallion that actually says Changemaker, and the back is a gold color. They are a nice weight. They are going to be a lovely gift that we can present to someone to say thank you to them for their contributions. And I don't just mean financial contributions, but if you know of someone in your district that goes above and beyond, in addition to the one person that you want to contribute, want to recognize, you let me know. We're going to find a way to get there and recognize them. And I'm going to give you an example because Milton, his district, we found out that there is an individual in one of their clubs there, who is an older adult, some special needs, who every week at their club meeting, he throws $100 bill in the little blue bucket. Now, this club made one big contribution on behalf of the club instead of attributing it to him. So we did not know about this, but we found out why. We found out what is so special about the little blue buckets to this gentleman, and we are surprising him at his club in a few weeks to present this Changemaker Award to him. And I think it's going to be really, really special. And Milton is coming. Some of the governor line is coming. It's going to be really, really incredible. And this is a way that we can thank our donors and our volunteers, people like you who go above and beyond. And this is a way for you to recognize someone too. So you'll be seeing more about these as we start to award them. But I was so excited to show them. They came in right before I left for Jacksonville. So we're very excited about those. We have so many other fun things in mind that are going to be happening as far as donor recognition, donor engagement. And the next item, I'm not going to show you yet. I'm saving it for next month because I don't have the actual one in hand. I only have a picture of it, and I want to wait till I have it in my hand. But we have a brand new lapel pin coming out. And for those of you who know, we have the wide yellow gold one that has the CART bucket on it, which was intended for the Roger Ackerman Circle recognition for recurring donors. And then we have the wide one that is the CART logo, that's teal and yellow and all. Well, over the last 2 years, we've given them out for a little bit of everything, and there's been no rhyme or reason as there should have been. That is no longer going to be the case. We have a very special pin that will be coming out, and we will do whatever it takes to make sure we get it out to all the right people. and it's going to be for members of the Roger Ackerman Circle. This will be an easily identified pin that we are rolling out for those folks who are recurring donors, and that may be through the donor portal. People who sign up to have something automatically drafted as monthly, quarterly, or annually. But it also includes those individuals who have an annual distribution to us from their IRA or from their community fund or something like that. And we keep a running list of those people as well. And we're going to make the effort to get this pin out to all of those people. So if you are not yet signed up as a member of the Roger Ackerman Circle as a recurring donor, I encourage you to do that. It's as little as $5 a month or $60 a year, and you will be a member of the Roger Ackerman Circle, and you'll get the special pin. And so those are going to be, I will be sharing those with you guys next month as well. So we've had a lot of stuff going on. I wanted to use the Changemaker Award as our public image tip of the month this month as well, because I feel like it's a great way for us to recognize our volunteers and folks like you guys and others who are doing so much for us. So that really is serving as our public image tip of the month. And our fundraising tip of the month really was the competition, because I think that's a great way to inspire and motivate and continue to raise more money. So I wanted to, I have a couple of other like important dates and things like that to share with you, but I wanted to see if anybody has any questions either about the Mayo trip or about the donor portal or about the awards or the competition or the challenges or anything else that you have heard that you're like, I don't know. What questions do you have? I have a couple more things, but I want to take a break from me talking and I want to hear from you guys. Andy, do you have a question?
I do. When are applications due from the researchers?
It's on our website. It's early December is when the letters of intent have to be submitted. It's usually that first week in December. And but all of that information is on the website under apply for a grant. And the letters were sent out to the same there's a mailing list of institutions and publications that these researchers routinely look for information in, and it was sent out earlier this year than it's ever been sent before. So that has gone out to them. They are aware of it. But if you know of a research institution that perhaps hasn't heard of it, they can get the information on our website. That December 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere around there is the deadline.
And past recipients can reapply.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So interestingly enough about that, it reminds me of a funny story. When I got to the Mayo Clinic on Friday, I had done all this research before we planned this trip. And we had 4 researchers from Mayo who had gotten grants. And so when I did all the research, only one of them was still there. The other 3 had moved to other facilities. So we worked with Dr. Zhao to plan the event. So when I walked in on Friday morning to speak, Dr. Zhao walks in, and then a minute later, this other gentleman walks in, and I'm looking at him, and I went, "You look so familiar. You're a CART researcher?" And it was one that used to be somewhere else, but now he's at the Mayo Clinic, and he actually is one of only 3, I believe, who has ever been awarded 2 CART grants. And he just did a lunch and learn for us a few months ago, Sunaya, and he was thrilled to see that we were there. And he and his wife is also a researcher, and they're planning to apply again. So he could become the first to get 3 grants from the CART Fund. You never know. So they submit that original LOI, and the review committee reviews all of those and narrows them down to somewhere between 12 and 16. And then they ask for full applications for those. They give them another deadline, which is sometime in end of January maybe. And then they review those, and then they narrow it down to somewhere between 3 and 6, and then make the decision of who's going to get the grants.
Just wanted to give you a little feedback on your Mayo trip. Tuesday, we had our Rotary E-Club for Alzheimer's research meeting, and one of the participants was a PhD candidate by the name of Lindsay, who attended your presentation, and she said, "I just had to find out more about Rotary and about CART," and she gave some good input, and she got some good information. So you've planted the seeds, and they're starting to sprout in all sorts of places. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm so glad she was able to join this month. We knew it was short notice, but that worked out great. And I think she is going to be a wealth of information, and she wants to absorb and learn as much as she can. And she was great to share some information as well. Thank you, Bill.
I just want to know where I can find more information about the Roger Ackerman Circle so that I can do a little presentation to my club.
Sure. So a couple of places, there is a story about it. I think it's still there on our website under news. But it's also part of the PowerPoint presentation that
Oh, okay.
that we created for you guys this year. So it should
For
be
the
in
new
there
one.
as well. Yep. And remember, and that thank you, Marion, because that was a great entree into my next topic, which was that PowerPoint, which is on the website under resources, where you can download it if you have not yet. And I still need to make a few more changes to it. And then when the new pin comes out, I'll add that as well. But remember, when you download that presentation, all of the notes are there for each individual slide as well. So we've written out everything you need, especially when it comes to explaining some of those grants and those projects. And so, but it does explain, I think, and if it's not there, Marion, you let me know and I'll go back. I've got to go in and edit it anyway, so I can make other changes if you guys find some things that don't work, but you can find it there. And it's as simple as signing up through the website, through the donor portal.
I just want to kind of give him some background information as to why and all of that.
I have that. If you'll remind me, I can email you. When we decided to create this program, I have some statistics to share that really explains why you raise more money with recurring donors versus one-time gifts. And when we first created this program, I pulled a lot of that data and statistics. So I'm happy to share that if you'll email me and remind me. And it may
I
not be
will.
tomorrow, but I will get it to you.
No.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Milton.
Tiffany, do you have a timeline on that, redoing some of those slides? I've got 3 speaking things coming up within the next month.
I do not. It is on my list. That list just keeps getting longer and
You
longer.
have to be home to do this.
That is correct. It is hard to do. Carol would not let me edit the slides while I was driving her home Monday. She just said, "No way, no ma'am." So you feel free to use the one that's there, but
Okay.
but I will do my best to get to it as soon as I can, and I will email you guys and let you know when it's done so that you can download a new version. And if
Okay.
you see something when you're presenting that you think this doesn't make sense or it didn't work, feel free to let me know, because I use a different presentation. And so I actually used that one last month and I saw some things that I wanted to change, like just the color of letters that didn't show up nicely on the screen. They were too dark. So little things like that, it's just going to take me some time to update as well.
Yeah, I've started my presentations off with, to know why, you have to know what. And I tell them the what to go into why, and so just let me know. So
Great. Well, we
thank
want
you,
you
ma'am.
to make it yours. We absolutely want you to make it personal and give you an opportunity to tell your story. I think that's really important.
I sent you an email about a concept. I live in a community of 55 and older with 1,700 people, and we do amazing things. My point is, when I talk to people, it's almost like deer in the headlights, like, oh, here we go again. Polio, international, dues. And it's like, I think they get worn out. And my point is, if we go outside of Rotary, I think there's a lot of opportunity. I really do.
We agree with you. And you are welcome to do that in your community. There are others that do as well. Tom Fitzgerald is not on here tonight, but he speaks to the American Legion. He speaks to the Kiwanis clubs. A lot of people do that. We mainly focus on Rotary because we are Rotary organized, Rotary run, and we have a natural connection to 600 Rotary clubs. And so, but absolutely, it is a great idea, and we fully support. It does issue a few challenges when it comes to reporting donations. Those individuals have to create their own accounts in our donor portal system, but it's doable. We can certainly do that.
I just wasn't sure if you had any best practices to share.
No,
I don't want to reinvent the wheel.
I mean, other than doing what we always do with fundraising, it's the same concept. our concept is that in Rotary clubs, it was intended to never take away from polio, from other fundraisers and projects that Rotary clubs are doing. But just in the public as well, that spare change can make a difference. We have a lot of individuals and businesses who put buckets or the clear containers in their businesses and collect spare change. I know Cara has a restaurant there in Anderson. They collect it. Their club chair goes by and picks it up on a regular basis. Every little bit helps. There are also individuals like in your community who might want to make a major gift of $5,000 or $1,000 or $100,000, or to name a grant at $250,000, and we certainly can work with those folks as well. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of dates that I want you to save for your calendar to make sure that you are keeping up with those. As you heard, the lunch a la carte was canceled for September. However, there is one in October, right, Bill Parker?
No, Dr.
Oh.
Backside just sent me an email today. He can't give a presentation till January.
Okay.
So my October 22 date is out.
Wonderful. I
Sorry.
was speaking that day, so that works great. So we have November the 18th. We have Doctors Kim and Quinty from Harvard. They will be on with us on November 18th. And then I think what we're going to do, we've had some discussion about this, is looking at the new Rotary, the new calendar year. We're going to maybe not go every month because it is getting more and more difficult to find folks who are available. But it's also just one more meeting that folks are trying to get to. So we want to make it consistent. We want to make it accessible for folks, but we also don't want to overwhelm people. And we've run through a lot of our former researchers now, although I do have a couple of other folks that I'll get with Bill that are interested in speaking. For example, folks from the Brain Bank that we were just at Mayo last week. They are very interested in doing a presentation. The Duke UNC folks as well. So it may not be an actual researcher from a CART grant, but it might be an interested party. So we're excited to work on that. So November the 18th is the next lunch a la carte. Please mark that on your calendar. Our conversations calls, like this one here, the next one will be on the third Thursday in October, which is October the 16th from 5:30 to 6:30. And then in November, also the third Thursday, November the 20th, from 5:30 to 6:30. And in December, the third Thursday, which is December the 18th. And we know that is right before Christmas. So we promise to keep you in and out in an hour or less. But last year we did some fun Christmas stuff. I still have great pictures of Greg Ross wearing his elf hat. So maybe he'll pull that out for us again this year. If you, as far as dates and calendars, if you are speaking to Rotary clubs, please send me the dates with the name of the club, the date, and the time. And if you want to give me the address of where the club is meeting, that's great too. If you don't have that, that's okay. I can leave that off. But if you will send that to me, I will add it to the CART Fund calendar. When you send me an email with one piece of information, I'm speaking to the Rotary Club of ABC, then I have to email you back and say, what's the date? What's the more information? What time is it? All of that. So if you'll just send me all of that at one time, I will get it up as quickly as I can to the calendar. If you are speaking that way, it populates our calendar. It shows people in the general area where we might be. If you are going to have a display in the House of Friendship at your district conference, I know some of those are starting to come up in September because some districts do them in the fall. If you're going to do that and you need materials or supplies, please let me know now and give me the date so I can put those on the calendar as well. And then in the spring, we are already booking up our visits to President-elect learning seminars, and so we will be coordinating all of those. So don't worry about those. You just worry about what's going on in your district with your district conferences or district trainings or leadership training and things like that. Cara, you have a question.
I think you said, unless I misunderstood you, that the meeting in November was November 20th, but that's a Monday, and that's our governance meeting. Or did you say the 16th?
I did not, but November 20th is a Thursday.
Low. I guess calendar management is not my strong suit. Okay, it's on there. Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Wonderful.
Thanks.
You bet. What other questions do you guys have?
Hey, Tiffany, it's
Yes.
Andy. I mean, so can I guess I can, I'll set it up with my district governor and just say, hey, I'd like to talk about CART at PETS or PELS, whatever we're calling it right now. I mean, is that smart and feasible? I mean, just
It is
so the
certainly worth a
president-elects
try.
know
I
about
will
it?
say that when it comes to Carolina's Pets, Carolina's Pels, whatever they're going to call it this year, they have a limited amount of time with their individual districts. You definitely want to make sure they have something in their packet that they share, whether it's a workbook or an app or a flash drive or whatever. And I am happy to provide you with a one pager that has all the basic information about CART that we can insert your name and contact information on. If you want to print copies of those to give out at an event, or if you want them to put it in their electronic version. And you may certainly ask your governor-elect if you can have 5 minutes to discuss CART at the event. Typically, they save that from experience, and Carol and Frank and some of them who have done this may agree or disagree, but typically that amount of time is so limited, they save that for district trainings and individual or pre-pets, things like that.
Okay, all right, thanks.
We definitely will have a booth at Pales, and that's what I meant when I said we'll coordinate it. So I apologize. We will have a display at all the pets. I'm just going to say pets because that's what I'm used to.
Yeah, Carolina's is still Pets.
Okay, very good. Yes,
Yeah.
because all of us Carolina folks voted against that at
Yeah.
council
Yes.
legislation.
Okay, so I have one more date that you didn't mention, Tiffany.
Okay.
Tell them when to come to Charlotte.
Absolutely. We have, of course, already scheduled next year's annual meeting, and it will be in the exact same location that we were in this year. And it is July 30th and 31st at the airport Hilton. I believe it is Hilton, yes. And that is a Thursday, Friday. So what will happen is, same as always, a Thursday evening reception, and we'll be wrapping up 30 years of service. So that's an opportunity for Carol and me to have another celebration, we think. So before Carol moves on to that title of immediate past president. And so, but we will have a reception on Thursday night and some dinners with the researchers. And then on Friday, all day, like a 9 to 4, 9 to 3, something like that. And we will have, we do have a little bit larger room block this year. So we'll get registration and all of that opened eventually. We will have opportunities for some sponsorship if you are interested in helping with that or know someone who is. And we will be able to give out the awards for both this past fiscal year and the current fiscal year. And if you recall, we talked about doing something called the Spirit of CART Awards, and that will be for clubs who give $20,000 or more in a year. Every one of them will be recognized as a Spirit of CART Award. And you may recall, this is actually in your PowerPoint presentation, that PowerPoint that we've been talking about. It is in that PowerPoint. It talks about recognition, and one of them is the Spirit of CART Award, and that is the $20,000 or more for a club. And I think for a district, it's $100,000 or more, if I remember correctly. But that's also in your PowerPoint. And of course, we'll give out the top 3 districts, top 3 clubs. And for those who have been watching that leaderboard, yes, we did get a $1 million donation in the month of August. And so District 7680 is already in the lead, but you have 9 months left to catch them. So if you can find a $1 million donor, or 2 $500,000 donors, or 4 $250,000 donors in your district, then this competition is not over yet, because this year it's early in the year, and everybody has an opportunity to still catch them. Yes, Glenda.
I have a question or a suggestion as you're planning the annual meeting. I really like the way we did the evening dinners where we divided up with sponsors or whomever and went with a researcher, because I think that was much more impactful than, just kind of we're going to eat here, we're going to eat there, but it was already planned. And it was a wonderful experience for me. And I know for the other, Patty from my state, we went with one. That was great.
Wonderful.
So I like that
it
idea.
was a little more organized this year. So
Right, I like that.
And
It happened for the Hadn't been for the tornado warnings and the thunderstorms, it would have been a perfect evening. Yeah.
And that's kudos to Andy Taylor, who's on this call, because she set all those restaurants up and helped us organize all of that. And
It was
so
great.
we will, Andy, it looks like you're in again. So, I mean, it was so well done.
I'm all on board. I'm all for
Perfect.
that. You know, I
Perfect.
love to plan a party.
Exactly. And we'll do it the same way again with the aides and the researchers having X number of seats. That really, having it organized instead of mass chaos really did make a difference this year.
Tiffany, can you give those dates for the one more time?
Absolutely. July 30th and 31st.
Okay.
And I think that's actually in your PowerPoint also. Double check. If it's not, I'll go back and add it, but I'm pretty sure it's in there also because we did already have those dates. No, we've already signed the contract and everything with the hotel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Tiffany, can I throw something in about it? And just-
Sure.
so for people who weren't there, I mean, I was at the annual meeting in Columbia and that was wonderful. It was my first, so I was like a deer in headlights. But this one this past year was so impactful and so moving. And so I do encourage everyone to please talk to your clubs. I know I see Denny Dar, who is the district CART chair for my club, Denver Lake Norman. We've got to encourage people to show up. Now, if you have a number cap, let me know that so we don't kind of overextend on invitations. But if anybody knows anybody that wants to learn more, a district CART chair coming and going through a slideshow and telling you about, the numbers and CART and all of that, that's one thing. But to actually hear this information from the researchers is so impactful. So I just encourage, people to do that and wanted to make, hopefully an emotional statement about it because it really does kind of get you in the feels for sure.
Great. Thank you. That's what we want to hear. And yes, it is open to everyone who wants to attend. And I hope that we expand into the ballroom across the hall this year. And if we open registration early enough and we get to that point, we can certainly make that plan. So, but we can fit a lot more in there than we had this year. So we still have room for probably 40 to 50 more than we had this year right now. So if we hit that, we'll be pleased. Anybody else have questions? Comments, concerns, complaints? Sorry, we're out of time. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Well, you guys, I'm not going to keep you just for the sake of keeping you. I want you to know how much we appreciate everything that you do. We could not do this without you. You are what makes us keep going. And I'm so grateful for this board of directors, for the district CART chairs and the club chairs like Denny and others who are on here. And Denny is asking the link for the video. Which video? Sorry, for this tonight.
Hey, Denny, you had messaged me. You wanted the slideshow, which I can send them.
Gotcha. It is available on our website. You can download it from cartfund.org. Hold on one second. You can
And
go.
I've edited it for my district. So I'm happy to send that to him as well.
Perfect. But anyone else that has not found it yet is at cartfund.org. Go to the page that says resources and you can download it from there and you can certainly customize it. We ask that you keep our missing piece concept this year because it ties into our marketing plan. And if you would like that graphic from Canva and you use Canva and you have not gotten it yet, I know I've shared it with Joan. I think I finally figured out how to share it without messing up my originals. But I'm happy to share that with you as well. And if you say to me, I have no idea how to use Canva, I can't do it, find someone in your club or in your district that does know how to do it and ask them to help you. And I will be happy to share that with you as well. I am so grateful for everything that you guys do. Without you, we would just be a few coins on a table at lunch in Sumter, South Carolina. But because of you, we are 600 Rotary Clubs strong, and we couldn't do it without you.